Come on, y'all. Hello. Welcome to another edition of the Roth Talk Podcast. I am your guy, Rothstein Beats. Appreciate you pulling up for another edition of that Roth Talk Podcast where we gonna talk that talk. So, man, listen, we got a lot of dope people who already been on the podcast. Last night had an amazing chat with my guy, Jay Burner. Came through and showed love, man. Dropped so many gems. So if you get a chance, please go back and take a look at the previous podcast I did. Man, but tonight I got my guy, Jay Swiftz, going to be pulling up, super producer. Man, I'm telling you, I know we don't like to call people super producers, but I like to call all my guys super producers. We like the Avengers, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own talent, but we all come together and make some heat. So we got my guy, Jay Swiftz, going to be pulling up here real quick, and then we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk that talk. I'm really doing this podcast. A lot of people have been asking me, especially coming from Clubhouse, like, yo, Rothstein, you should do a podcast. Clubhouse is kind of like a podcast, so I'm like, cool, you know. I'm transitioning over to this podcast world. I'm actually going to be going live on Apple and Spotify and everything once I get all my interviews done. I'm almost done with season 1. So, man, salute alert to Bob Sumner, Paul Porter, sheesh, man, I'm drawing a blank here, man. June Archer, that's what I was thinking about, my guy June. Man, I've had so many dope guests, and then I got some more guests coming next week. I got a dope, man, interview coming up. I can't tell y'all the guy name yet. But the guy, I mean, he's kind of a big deal. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say my guy's kind of a big deal. So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have a bunch of people in here pulling up. And, man, I just want to thank everybody for pulling up. This is the Roth Talk Podcast where we're going to talk that talk. So I'm waiting for my guy, Jay Swiftz, to pull up. J.R. Swift, I keep calling him Jay Swift. That's his dad, which is going to be another conversation we're going to have about that. But J.R. Swift, I met this brother, I met him probably a couple years back with his pops, and man, they showed me nothing but love. And you know, he's been doing some work. He's been cooking. So, you know, a lot of my guys that I know be cooking. So I'm going to give him a chance to talk that talk, let people know about him, what they got going on. As well as my previous guests. You know, I like to take it back to when they first started to where they got to now. So anybody can get inspired by the podcast. Anybody can hear the story and get inspired. And yeah, man, we're going to get this thing cracking here. So you should be pulling up here in 1 minute here. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and plug a few things while I'm waiting on my guy to get in here. So I want you to go ahead and support my group, Music Networking No Egos on Clubhouse. Go up there and subscribe, become a member of the family. We just hit 10K members in the group. So, man, salute to my club, Music Networking No Egos. We at 10 racks right now. So, man, shout out to everybody who's been through the room, supporting the room. Man, we like the longest standing room. We got a website now, Play No Egos, PLAY No NO Egos, EGOS.net. And, man, find out what we got going on there. We're going to be updating the website real soon. So, again, we appreciate everybody pulling up. We appreciate everybody supporting us. And we're going to keep this thing going. My guy, you know, I got Hollywood friends. So, you know, Hollywood friends want to pull up. I told him we on IG. I told him what time it is. Yeah, so definitely shout out to the No Egos family, making deals happen every day. But yeah, we about to get this thing cranked up here. Got some people, man. But yeah, man, let me see some hearts up there. Let me see some fire signs. Yeah, my guy done pulled up here. Yes, sir. So we about to get this thing cranked up. Get my guy. Come on up. Hello. Let's go. There we go. There we go. Can we get some heart? Let's get some fire signs. Get some hearts going. There you go. Hello, my guy.
What's good, brethren?
What's good with you, my G?
Man, I'm chilling, bro.
Man, look, I forgot to pour my glass, man. I might have to step out and get my glass from you. You know what I mean? Yes,
What's
sir,
good?
man.
Listen, bro. I want to say appreciate you for having me first and foremost. And you good? family good? Like, talk to me.
Man, listen, brother. You know I'm Gucci. Everybody good. You know everybody staying COVID free. You know what I mean. Everybody just we working. You know what I mean. But again, how you been, my guy? You been? I know you been grinding. We gonna get into that though. We gonna get into that. So first and foremost, let me rewind and backtrack. Man,
Yeah,
welcome everybody to the Roth Talk podcast where we talking that talk. We got a special guest on the episode today. My guy, my bro, a super producer. I know they don't like that title, but all my friends are super producers to me. I'm not saying that to
right,
everybody got to feel that way, but to me,
right.
a super producer, humble assassin, my guy. We got J.R. Swift in the building. What's up, J.R.? Hello, my guy.
What's good, bro? What's good, man? Maintaining, like I said, maintaining, working, grinding. The grind never stops, bro. It never stops.
Yes. Yes, sir. We stay working in these streets, man. Ain't nothing else to do but do some work. But I always like to start the podcast out, man. I always like to say, tell the people out there who don't know who you are, because it's people who in the comments going crazy right now. So people
Right.
know, but for those who don't know, give us a little breakdown of who is J.R. Swift, man. Like let us know who J.R. Swift is.
Man, man, so the way that I can explain it, J.R. Swift just an individual that's that love hip hop, can come from the projects of Brooklyn, New York, East New York to be exact, and that's really it, man. I did some production for some of your favorites from Griselda to Papoose to Elza. I got a whole project with Elza. Um, Now that's really it, man. I consider myself a hard worker, and just a fan of this thing we call hip hop. That's really about it, man. Like, I don't like the term humble, but I would use it in this sense, a humble being. You know what I'm saying? So that's really JR in a nutshell, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I know what you mean by saying you don't want like to use humble. You know what I mean? Because some people can get the wrong idea about being humble. But well, I know what you mean in that sense. But I always like to take it back to the beginning with everybody. So tell me about a young J.R. Swift in New York. Tell me what was some of your influences. Like just kind of give me a breakdown of you, a young JR, and then we're gonna take it to high school. So, because always high school is very important for a lot of people. So, tell me
Oh
about
yeah,
a young JR, my guy.
oh yeah, man. A young JR was curious with music, seeing my father, being around him for so many years with music, seeing him in the studio, seeing him in sessions with some of your favorites, like Busta, AZ, Coogee Rap, so on and so forth. Um, that was the bulk of my childhood. That's when everybody, which I was in the games, playing games, stuff like that. But for a child to be in second grade, going to studio sessions and meeting legends and stuff like that early on, that's super crazy. So my childhood is not a normal childhood compared to somebody else. They going to school, they might be in the sports. I mean, I was doing the regular child thing, but I'm going to a session. My pops like, yo, come with me. You know what I'm saying? So we go to Manhattan for a session and seeing people, cut records and stuff like that, or seeing deals on the table. So my childhood is everything to me. That's something I will never forget because that's what molded and shaped J.R. Swift today. You see what I'm saying? So if it wasn't for that, growing up in the trenches and growing up and seeing, all the crazy, like, you know, the craziness that was going on, but my parents was always on point, even though we was in a hood and this time and third. But um, I didn't know we was in a hood until like years later, until I got older and realized like, yo, we, you know, be in the trenches. But all of that shaped and mold me to the man I am today. So, I'm proud of the childhood.
Man, that's super dope. And I gotta pause and give a salute alert to your pops. Hey, Jay Swift, salute, salute, salute. You know that's my guy right there. So want to definitely take a moment and show love to your pops, man. Another dope producer. But speaking of that, man, like, can you remember like what's one quick story that you like couldn't believe, like, as a kid, you just came into a situation like, man, like, because you say you was in there with a bunch of people, like, you got one story in particular.
Man, yeah. I remember I remember being in the studio and seeing Busta Rhymes. That was crazy. I remember everything he had on to this day. Like, my man, this is the time he had on, he had locks at the time. So super skinny dude with locks. He had on a tan velour. He had on a whole tan velour suit. And I remember they was playing some beats and he was like, yo, shorty right there. He liking that, he feeling that. And had I known, I would have took a picture, I would have got an autograph and stuff like that. But I think it was so normal to me to be around, certain celebrities. So I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't, really pressed or really tripping. Another story I would say is that me and Coogee Rap and the shorty that he was dealing with at the time, I forgot her name. I think her name was Queen or something like that. I forgot shorty's name. But she had her little son with her.
Mm-hmm.
Um and we was in another room with other people in there. I don't know what they did, but I'm thinking they was important. And he rapped too. So that was like my first like rap battle. And I ended up,
Mm.
losing because I ain't had no bars or anything like that. But and that's the thing too, which we probably get into later. I was actually emceeing first before I started producing.
Mm.
So at that time, I was like, man, I ain't had no bars to come up with anything, and I wrote my own rap. So just imagine, like, you know, whatever however old you are in the second grade, I'm writing my own raps and just going crazy. So that's those two right there, and then also I would say riding in the car with AZ, and AZ had I think
Mm.
maybe a green BMW or something like that, a green Lex. I remember it was a
Mm.
green car. Um, and my pops was in the passenger seat. You know what I mean? They was driving back to our old hood, at least in the area, and I remember those days too. So yeah, man, I got stories for days. Me and Flavor Flav, everything, bro. So yeah,
Sheesh, man. Listen, man. I always wanted to be from New York, when I was younger, because New York had so many, like, I mean, legends to this day, but like, New York had the music game on lock. Like, nobody cannot say New York did not have the music game on lock. So, like, for you to be in the height of, that era and everything, man, that's super dope, man. And having personal relationship with a lot of these stars. It's not like you don't know them, or you just be like, it's like your pops in the passenger seat with AZ. That's come on,
right.
man. That's super dope, bro. That's super dope. All right, well, let's skip ahead. Let's skip ahead.
Mm.
So after that, let's say, let's talk about early going into high school years, like because you end up moving to Virginia, right? Like, I know that's like, what was that time frame when that happened?
Yeah, so I want to say like around 97, maybe 98. I moved to VA, moved to Virginia Beach, and I think that's where I really started picking up production. That's how I met Knox too, Knox Roth. So he had a studio called the first. I don't know what you call it now. I know the studio that he in now. I don't know if you call it, the Dirt Factory 2 or 3 or whatever. But the first Dirt Factory that I went to was off of what Azalea Road. So that's over there by Coleman Place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in Norfolk. So that was the first studio that I went to in VA, and I saw him um, playing joints. And this is when he had a little twist and stuff in his head. Um, I think that's the first time I was like, "Yo, these beats." It was loud. It was loud as hell. It was super loud, but it was like crazy. Like you would hear like the bass is rumbling the walls. It was something crazy. So um, I think at that moment, seeing my pops and seeing Nas, right? Those were like my two early influences before I even knew about influences. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? This is probably something I want to do. So, seeing that influenced me a lot. Yeah, and then a little bit later, I went back to New York. My little brother was born, and then I came back to VA, and then damn near every summer, I was like 3 or 4 times a year. I was back and forth between VA and New York. So it was like I never left.
Mm.
But so I want to say like around 12, 13, I formed a group. Um, so the name of the group was called True Crime Gangsters. Don't I made up the name? Don't know why. Don't know why I called it that, but it was me, my my two cousins, and my homie that lived in the area. Um, my homie Khalid, and we was like, super G Unit fans. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
for me, I was a super 50 fan. My homie, well, my homie, yeah, my homie he's from the South, so he was a super MJG, A
Mm.
Ball, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Young Buck. That was his lane. For me and my two cousins, even though my cousin Dante is from Cali, um, he enjoyed the up north music that we was listening to. My cousin
Mm-hmm.
Rel, um, he was more like, his favorite rappers would be like, Banks and like Wayne. He was a super Wayne fan. But
Mm.
our whole model to be like G Unit, like a little G Unit or something like that. But everybody had their own favorite rappers. So at that time I was producing. I started producing at like around 12, 13. So
Mm.
I was producing the records. I was engineering
Hold
the
on.
records. Yeah.
What you was producing on though? What you was making beats on
Uh,
though?
so I started producing on drum roll. I started producing on FL Studio. That's when I started
Mm.
producing on. And then high school, we get into that. High school is something different, and
Yeah.
then as a grown man, something completely different too. But when I first started, it was on FL. My pops gave me, um, he gave me like the family computer. We had a compact computer. Um, He gave me that. He bought a Mac with the color back. You know what I'm saying? He bought the Mac with the color back. At that time, he gave me the compact computer, and he installed an FL on there, and I had damn. When I had FL, I had Cakewalk. My man's that live
Mm.
around the corner, he used Sonar Cakewalk. That's what he
Mm-hmm. I
used to
know about
record.
that.
Yeah, yeah, throwback, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
he had that, and I would just I was using that to record too, but it was more so FL to make beats. My beats was trash. I'm just learning how to make beats and stuff like that, and yeah, so making beats for everybody, engineering everybody. I'm engineering the sessions, making beats for the sessions. We rapping over instrumentals. We just going crazy, having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we swear, we was gonna take off this thing. My cousin, he was 10. The youngest one was 10, and the oldest, I think, let me see, Kylie got about 2 years. So I think he was like 14, 13, 14. So I was like 11 or 12 when I started making beats, but the oldest was like 13, 14, and then the youngest was 10, was my little cousin.
Mm.
And yeah, so that's how I got into it. And I was rapping too, but I hated how I sound.
So
It was
hold on. You
yeah.
took yourself out the group? Like, did they tell you to rap too, or you just was like, I'm gonna make the beats?
Nah, so I was on my Diddy shit. Like I brought everybody together. Like I had a whole rhyme book, right? It was a black, not composition. It was like a black, like the big notebook joint. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Um, I had mad raps in there, mad like raps, everything in there, because like I said, I wrote my own rhymes. And my cousin Dante, my cousin Tay, he never rapped before in a day in his life. Never
Mm.
wrote rhymes, never know about bars, never count bars, none of that. So I'm like, yo, bro, like you rap? He's like, man, he's like, nah, I don't. He's like, nah, I don't know nothing about like nothing.
Mm.
So I taught bro how to rap. I taught my cousin how to rap.
So he didn't know how to count bars or nothing like that.
I
Mm.
barely know how to count bars. You know what I'm
And this was,
saying?
but yeah, y'all was what, 12 years old, right? Like 12,
Yeah,
13 years. Oh
yeah.
man.
But
Okay, okay.
that's how crazy the mind is though. You figure like I'm like a nigga that's 11, 12 years old, like
Talking about
making
bars, like.
right counting bars, like engineering and making beats, all of that. Like
Mm.
who does that at 11, 12? Like now I can understand a little, now you have everything available to you. But at that time, at least I don't remember, but it wasn't on YouTube. So you figured it's like
Mm.
oh 03, oh 04. This
Yeah,
wasn't, YouTube or anything like that. You literally had to learn on your own. And it was very difficult. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, um, like I said, engineer, rap, mixing. I didn't get into that till years later. But
yeah,
yeah, so that was a group that we had. But I stopped rapping to go back to what you were saying. I stopped rapping. I didn't take myself out the group. I hated how I sound. Like it was so high pitched. And then I was mumbling. I couldn't find like
he was a mumble
yeah.
rapper.
Yeah, it was like I wasn't clear. The clarity of my voice wasn't up to par. So I'm trying to figure out how can I get my bars like heard. So I even started rapping like 50 a little bit. Then I was like,
Mm.
you know what? Clearly this not me. So I stopped rapping and just focused solely on production. And then from 11, 12, maybe 13 up to now at 30, like I just been so, gun ho with production. And now I still get a little busy, you know what I mean, with rapping. Every now and again I get the itch. But
Yeah.
now I know, what beats fit me, what don't, so on and so forth. I think excuse me, I think the beats I was picking at that time, because we be rapping over instrumentals. So you
Hmm.
figure like a super, you know, bass heavy, drum heavy, instrumental produced by Dr. Dre or something like that. My
Right.
voice I don't have a strong vocal projection, so it would be a little bit difficult. But for everybody else, I was make sure they was right, make sure my cousin know when to punch in and how to rap, how to get the flow on point. So I'm literally like helping him and my little cousin get right. My homie, he already had a little something down pat. He would just
Mm.
rap low. You know what I'm saying? He would just rap
Mm.
low. But yeah, I was helping everybody else, and then I just got crazy with the beats, and that was it.
Nah,
So
so you literally, man, this is crazy to
mm,
really see y'all. And so y'all was at at your house, like, or did y'all have a place? Y'all was at your crib, you mixing, engineering, but you grew up watching that, so you didn't really know that you was inputting everything while you was there. But once it
right,
was there, you knew what to do. You know what I mean? You knew what to do once
right.
you got behind that computer. So let's fast forward because it's a great transition point of
Mm.
you. Well, first, let me ask you: do you have any of that music from back then?
Man, I try to find it. I think I have a CD. It may be in my storage, in my crib. I,
Man, we
you
got.
know,
I would love to hear what the beats was from back then, and then you know what I'm saying to hear them
man,
drinks. So I'm gonna give you a project, my guy. Try to find that because I love to hear what y'all was rapping about, especially back then, and what the beats was sounding like. You know what I mean?
man. I could tell you the beats was super trash. I don't think I had any. I don't think I had any. I don't think I put any of my beats. I might have. I might have put some of my old FL beats and stuff like that.
Mm.
on CD. But I have to look. I know I got some of the old records, but I don't know about the beats. I wish I would have
Nah,
kept them
man.
though.
Yeah, I know, man. Look, man. Of course, if you know what you know now, man, I would have kept all my stuff. Like, and see, I started on a music generator with the PlayStation, so I
I
used to
like
have the
yeah,
memory cards on deck. I used to have like a whole container of memory cards. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Sony. You know what I mean for that,
that's
because
funny.
yeah, man, I cooked up some records with that. But fast forward, now we in high school. Are you still with the same group, or you just went strictly to you just in producer mode?
Nah, straight producer mode. Everybody everybody got older. I think it was just a phase for some people. My cousin Tate is interested in music, but life changes. My cousin Rel wasn't really interested in it. And then my cousin Khalid,
Hmm.
nah, well, not my cousin, my homie Khalid, he not um ain't interested in it. I'm the only one who full on made it a career, made it um not cool, but out of everybody, I'm the one who made it a career. Everybody's like, this a phase, whatever. But that's something I wanted to do. Like I tried to play ball, tried to play football. I was trash at basketball. I got better as I got older, but football ironically came naturally. But the school I was at, my high school was trash.
Mm.
I went to Princess Anne, so it was trash. But the dope thing, the side note, the dope thing about Princess Anne is that Pharrell went to the same school and graduated from the same school. So the
Hello.
to graduate at that
Salute
same,
alert. Sorry, hey, I got a
yeah,
salute alert, my guy Pharrell. Salute, salute, salute. And we
got to,
standing with you, my guy. We standing with you on that. But yeah, go ahead, my guy.
yeah, you got to, graduated from the same high school. But yeah, now I'm the one who stuck to it, stuck with the music, and now you have J.R. Swift. At that time, it wasn't. Well, I could throw this in there too, real quick. So I was going, when I was rapping and producing, I was going by J Killer. I was going by J Killer, and then as I got older, high school and stuff like that, it was J. Well, okay, Boogie T. Yup.
Hmm.
Went to let me see. Damn, what I was saying, I lost my train of thought.
You was Jay
Uh,
Killer. You say
oh
you
yeah,
was Jay
so
Killer.
J Killer, and
Hmm.
then as I got older, it was Jay the Hitmaker,
Mm.
and then when I moved down here to Charlotte, I changed the name to J.R. Swift. I wanted to carry a pop's name in a way that was unique. So instead of saying Swift Junior or Swift Jr., I just switched
Mm.
it to J.R. Swift. So um,
Fire.
well, which is yeah, appreciate it. Which is fire instead of it's your Swift Junior or Little Swift or whatever. They be like yo Jr. Like Jr. Because people that know me, they know I like to dress, like to get fly and all that. So you know yeah, so that's why I end up carrying the name. So
That's dope. That's dope. And I got to do another salute alert for my guy, Jay Swift again. That's my bro right there, man. Salute to him.
mm-hmm.
And that's super dope, man, because as a kid and you see your father doing it, and a lot of times we emulate, what we see. You know what I mean? And I know talking to your father, he said he didn't even really push you in the direction of producing or anything. So for you to now, pick it up and do your thing and do it your way as well, you know what I mean? I think that's super dope. So all right, we moving, we cooking. So after high school,
Mm.
tell me like what happens after high school. What you like? Did you have any places by then, or was what was you working on by then?
Man, by then, what I'm doing now, continue to grind, continue to work, find ways to be successful. Um, I thought so that they go back to high school because it kind of ties in. I thought I was gonna have my first placement with Kid Ink. Cause crazy enough, we got a little bit back before,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
let's bring it
saying?
back. Bring it back. We can
Yeah,
bring it
yeah.
back.
Um, so before I started doing like what I'm doing now, a lot of the hip hop, boom bap stuff, I was doing a lot of trap stuff, and trap at that time was like Jay Tovin, Shawty
Mm.
Rad, Lex Luger, stuff like that. Those my influences. That's what I grew up on. Um, Ryan Leslie, Polo the
Mm.
Dawn,
Yeah, they was
Def
killing it.
Jam. Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
was a hell
yeah.
of an era for producers.
Crazy. So that was what I was listening to, and still rock with their albums. Like Pharrell in My Mind album is still
Oh
classic,
man, come on,
still
man.
fire. Still rock
Best
with that.
friend. Sheesh.
Fire. Number one.
Number one.
Um, Listen,
Hello.
so many joints, but that's what I was listening to. That I was intrigued in. Especially like Polo the Dawn. Like I was heavy into Polo the
Mm.
Dawn, but even quick side note. I know you remember the Nico, the Open Lab
Mm-hmm.
keyboard.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. The jump. It got the little up front. It's like a little upright. You know what I mean? Jump.
Yeah. So if you know about Open Labs was what I think it was like maybe 5 to 10 grand. I know they had one that
Mm-hmm.
was like 20, 30K, and that was all gold. But they ain't worth nothing now, you know what I'm saying? But Open Labs, anyway, I don't know, that's producer talk. But yeah, so I was most into that, and I thought I was gonna have my first placement with Kid Ink because I knew somebody that said he had the plug to Kid Ink, but turns out he ain't really had the plug. And I was like, all right, smooth, whatever. Fast forward, working, grinding what I'm doing down, and one of my um not influence, but one of my favorite artists, because listening to different stuff and being intrigued by Dilla and so on and so forth. That's one of my influences. And I went down a crazy rabbit hole at one point, and I came across Elza. Elza, one of my favorite MCs. Fast forward, um, I was like, man, how can I get my beats to him? Because he was, if you know about L, now he kind of switched up a little bit, but at that
Mm.
time, he's not accessible like that at that time. So
Hold on.
doing a
Salute alert. Salute. I gotta give a salute alert. Elzai.
yeah,
Salute. Salute.
yeah,
Slums. If you don't know, you better get familiar. Salute alert. But I'm sorry. Go
yes
ahead.
sir.
Go ahead.
No, you good. So doing what I'm doing now, making it be posted on the gram. So I just moved back from VA. I went back to VA 2016, moved back to Charlotte 2017. So cooking up, and I had this one joint that was super fire, and I'm like, yo, I could hear Al going crazy. So I sent Al the video, me cooking up. I'm like, man, maybe he'll open it. I don't know. He opened the DM. He played the joint. He was like, yo, this is fire. I'm like, appreciate you. Like that's the one of, once Al said my stuff was fire, there was nothing you could tell me at
Come
that
on, man.
point. So
Hello.
he had he gave me his number. We talked on the phone, and I was like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I've been around a lot of people in my life, and like you made me kind of starstruck, bro, because I never thought we'd be on the phone talking, communicating. So um, it was just super super crazy. But yeah, Ed was one of those dudes that I was like, yo, crazy. So granted, I always said that West is place my first placement, right? But it was really L was at my first placement, but we just didn't have anything on wax. So L
Right.
was really my first placement, but we didn't have anything on wax.
Mm.
West is really my I guess my second placement.
Right.
But since we had something on wax first, it ended up being like my first placement. So that's
Yeah.
how that happened. But yeah, just the power of social media. Everything that I do, is via social media. How I conduct my business, how I sell beats, everything that I do is based on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube, something like that.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm glad you brought up Wes because I was gonna ask you. We gotta
Right.
hear the story of how y'all connected because you've been on so many projects. I'm like, do you know you're part of so many classics, my guy? So, but we're gonna get to that. But
Yeah.
tell me and the people out there, how do you and West Side Gun, one of the dopest lyricists? They took over. They took over the rap game. So how did
Yeah.
that happen? And how did you become a part of that movement?
Yeah. So I was in New York and I had a beat battle. A homie of mine, shout out to my boy Soup. A homie, my homie Soup sent me a post from West. West was looking for beats at the time. He never, used production outside of either a big name or Derringer. So he's
Mm-hmm.
looking for up and coming producers, I guess, really to build with. And I just so happened to have my equipment with me, and I sent bro like 6, 7 joints. His road manager B had followed me and DM me. It was like, yo, West is rocking with the joints that you had sent. And I was like, yo, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And the joint that he was playing didn't end up going to him. It really went to Conway like a little
Mm.
bit later. But the joint that he rocked with, which was Big Luther Freestyle, went crazy. And that's how we linked. And then, the story later, so on and so forth, we linked in person, and that's how we ended up in that relationship. So
Man.
all again through social media, through IG.
And it's time for a salute alert. Salute alert to Westside Gun and everything they got going over there at Griselda, man. That's super dope, super dope. So let's talk. We got probably about 23 minutes, my guy. So I got a couple more questions for you because we gotta
Mm-hmm.
definitely talk about the future, what you working on now, you know what I'm saying, and let the people know what we can expect. So with that being said, after West Side Gun, let's talk a little bit more with who you start working with and the LZI project and stuff like that.
Yeah, so after West, it was Conway. I linked with Conway through Flea Lord. We had a joint called Broken Femur. He added Conway to the record and basically threw me the alley oop. It's like, yo, bro, you need to check out, Swift. And I'm linking with Conway. I sent Conway like 12 joints. And it's crazy. He picked like 6 or 7 out of the 12. And maybe like 2 making it on full 3. Then another joint, a couple months later on, what's the name of that project, man? Look Where I Became. I did Vino D. So that's how I linked with them. I linked with Benny already, like we talked, whatever, but we never had nothing set in stone yet.
Mm-hmm.
So on Wax, it's just those two, and then they signed Armani Caesar. Did joints with Armani Caesar on Liz, the first Liz. We did Countdown, and we did Gucci Casket. Those two, which was funny, those two beats were supposed to be for West for who made the Sunshine album,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't fit, so he gave them, ended up giving it to her for her debut. Um, Elza, like I said, been working with Elza since 2017. I went to Detroit 2019 and seeing him record, finish the records that we had. Ended up putting up the album 2020 last year. Super crazy. Definitely
Fire.
album of the year.
Hello.
Papoose. I know Papoose since I was a young child. Knew him for years and years. It was just the timing was right. Sent him joints. Well, no, the joints. There's only one joint that I sent him that was like brand new. Everything else was old. So
Mm.
serial killer was like 2015.
Mm.
Sticks and Stones is new. Actually, no. Serial killer is the only one that was old.
Mm-hmm.
Sticks and Stones is new. My favorite Gemini is new, and then the Go Puff Freestyle that was new too. Um, the track I did on the list, I did Gucci Casket, and I did Countdown on the list.
Hello.
And let me see what else. Yeah, so that's basically been my track record. Been in the studio with Terminology. We're working on the track right now.
Hello.
That record is fire. That record is
Hey,
fire.
so, hey, salute alert terminology
Mm-hmm.
bars. That's all I gotta say is bars and bars with that guy. Hello.
I ended up doing a contest um because Little Fame from MOP
Mm.
and DJ Skiz with that's they right, they like cool, super cool. They put out a drum kit and I end up entering the contest, end up winning the contest.
Mm.
And matter of fact, I might post that clip after we get over. I might post that clip, but the joint that I played over that was played, they went crazy. Fame went crazy. It went bonkers. Um, Fast forward, Billy Dan's. They added him
Mm.
to the live like a little bit later because it was like day
Mm.
two, something like that. Billy Dan's got on, played my joint, and he was like, he was in the car, he was listening, and the intro to the beat, it's like somebody marching. You know what I'm saying, somebody marching,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and then the joint come on, boom, dun dun dun, dun 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 dun. Now I'm going crazy,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yo, I'm getting out the car." So my man got out the car because the beat was so crazy. I never had a reaction like that, man. I made Billy Dance get out the car
Get out
and
the
go
car. He didn't want
crazy.
to hear no more. He didn't want to
He
hear
was
no more.
so yeah, so he's like crazy. End up winning the whole joint, and and that's how I end up getting a placement on Fame's upcoming album. They actually played the record not too long ago.
Mm.
And everybody was going crazy for that record too. I just missed it. I don't know what I was doing, probably messing around. Excuse me. So, uh, um, yeah. So that's how I linked with Fame through
Okay.
a contest that I won. So yeah, man, it's been on the up and up. It's been on the up
Yes,
and up.
sir. Man, that's super dope to hear, man. Salute alert MOP. I mean, legendary. I mean, bringing that energy. Now let's talk about who inspired. I know you said you mentioned your father, and you mentioned the Neptunes as well. And so, who else inspired you as producers to continue to do what you do?
Yeah, now my sound and my style changed so much. I mean, my top five is Dilla, Black Milk, Knots, um, uh, High Tech. Gotta say High Tech and A-Rap music. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? That's my top
mm,
five. So when you listening to a J.R. Swift beat, like you gonna hear all those elements into one or a bits and piece from somebody. You see what I'm saying? Like how I choose my samples, maybe like a formula that I pull from like Knots or from
mm-hmm.
Dilla. How I swing my drums might be from a Dilla or Black Milk. Or if I do something super clubby, like might be from Dilla and A-Rap music. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm,
I'm pulling different
mm.
elements from my favorite producers and mashing it into one. So those are the people that I listen to on a regular.
Okay. Now let me ask you this:
Mm.
who would be some artists that you want to work with that you haven't worked with thus far?
Man, I got a whole list, bro. I mean, it ranges too. I mean, it ranges from Mick Jenkins to Tory
Mm,
Lanez to Young and May to Banks to Buster to Stove God to Fonte to Ross to Nas, Kendrick Cole, so on and so forth. Like, I mean, it's a whole list, man, and it ranges from you know more so commercial sound to more of the underground. So I don't like to box myself in when I'm creating music. I like what I like. Like I may make some grimy super hip hop joints, but um, no, that's how I grew up. I grew up listening to G Unit. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the production was, super hard drums, bass lines. My pops is Jay Swift. Jay Swift, the producer, not from Far. What is from Far Side? Jay Swift from Far Side or Jay Swift from Jay Swift is from So Is the Mischief, right? One of them. It's one of them
Oh
groups,
yeah,
but
Soul
it's
of Mischief. Yeah,
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 yes, but it's not him though. It's somebody else. But
yeah,
yeah. So it ranges from some commercial to underground and in the middle. So um, I don't like to box myself in when I'm creating.
okay.
So I just like to have fun with this music. That's the point of it.
All right. Well, I always like to, pick other producers' brains as far as give me. Let's talk about from 11-year-old Jay Swift to, I mean J.R. Swift to right now. What would be one thing you would? What advice would you give yourself at that age that you think would be beneficial?
Um, I don't think I would, man. Because at that time, at 11 years old, 12 years old, I was super experimental. I was trying to find myself. I enjoyed just making whatever I choose to make at that time. So I wouldn't tell. I mean, it would be some life stuff. I would tell a little, a young Jr. But as far as
Mm-hmm.
musically, I wouldn't change anything because it led me to the point I am now. But it's some things I would tell 20 to 30-year-old, J.R. Swift. Be outside a little bit more.
Okay.
Don't be so serious. When connecting with people, everybody not out to get you. Just enjoy life, enjoy music. A lot more. Experiment a little bit more. Get back in that bag when you was 11 or 12 or 17, 18, 19 years old. Experiment a little bit more instead of
Mm.
thinking, oh, I haven't crossed that bridge or I haven't opened that door yet. You never know when that door's gonna open. So um, just experiment, get back in that bag. You know what I'm saying? When you
Okay.
listening to Brian Leslie and Paulo the Don, stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I would tell from 20, 21 to 30-year-old Swift for sure.
Okay, okay, yeah. Now that makes a lot of sense because, like you said, you was just like learning and having fun, not as serious. But once you get in your 20s, it kind of gets serious because you like, hey, I gotta make something do what it do. I'm trying to make a career happen because we all got the people who tell us we're dreaming too big, we shooting for the stars, and that ain't gonna happen. You should have this backup and all that. So a lot of times that could make you lose some confidence and really, like man maybe I can't do it because I know for me that's what held me back for a little bit. Just listening to everyone else try to kill your dreams, you know what I'm saying? Because they couldn't do it. So once I got
Nah,
out of that, I knew I was like, nah, this is what I want to do. So when was that moment for you when you was like, this is when I'm gonna be a producer? Like this is when I'm gonna do it.
man, since I was young, like I'm glad that I'm stubborn to a certain degree. I'm just glad that I'm stubborn because you know when you got your mind set on something, ain't nobody could tell you a damn thing. Hey, bro, I think you should do this. Nah, I'm good. Oh, bro, you should do. Nah, I'm good. I'm straight. Because life is funny, right? So I like to. I'm super. I like to be. I try to be super positive and super just real. Your life, your career, what is your job? Your 9 to 5, your music, whatever you are as an entrepreneur. Um, what you go through, what you eat, don't make me shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hello, hello.
So what you go through, I'm not gonna go through. You know what I'm saying? So my experiences is gonna be different than yours. That's why I enjoy what I'm doing. I love what I do. The only thing, like I said, I will learn the business a little bit more. But um, I always knew this is what I wanted to do. That's why I'm super stubborn. Like, let me fall. Like, if I need to fall on my face to learn a lesson, then I would do that. Then I'll come back to the drawing board and try to figure out what do I need to do to enhance my product or my build my brand a little bit more. So I give you some game, right? I've been up probably like the past 2 3 months. I've been I've been going to bed to like 4 in the morning. Not only just working, but if I'm not physically working on beats, then I'm learning something new. So
Mm.
I'm trying to learn how can I brand myself as a producer, as a hip hop producer. I see everybody, um, have a brand, have some sort of gimmick that works for them. Me, I don't have a gimmick. When you talk to me, I try to be open and honest, like authentic as much as possible. So when people, converse with me, they be like, yo, this dude is real. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
may not have 10,000 followers yet. I may not have 15 or 20,000 followers yet. But the people
Hmm.
that's on my live, whether it's 4 people, 3 people, 10 people sometimes, whatever the case may be, I know those are the people that truly support what I'm doing and enjoy my music. I don't buy followers. I don't need to buy people. Either you rock with me or you don't. Like I tell anybody, whether I'm talking to a shorty, whether I'm handling business. Listen, I don't need to buy you. If you feel like what I'm doing is not enough for you, then I'm gonna holler at you later in the next life or something like that. Because I got other things I need to be doing, and um yeah, man. So that's how I move. I try to be my authentic self as much as possible. Everybody not gonna get it. Everybody not gonna get what you do and enjoy what you do. So
Nah,
again,
my guy, man, you dropping gems right now, my guy. You dropping
right,
gems right now because we see it with social media so much. We see the cap online so much. We see people painting the picture a certain way, and but the authentic people are always gonna shine through. And you know what I mean. And you one of those authentic, bots. It's certain people that I know. That's why I want you on the podcast because I know the real is always gonna rise to the top. You know what I mean. So salute to you and everything that you got going on. So now we got a couple more minutes left.
right.
Let's talk about what's the future, what's the plans, what you got coming up, anything, any sneak peeks you want to let us know about, like any sneak collabs coming up, what's going on?
Yeah, for sure, man. Me and Little Fame, me and Terminology. I'm working on a project with this dude named Tuli C from Indiana. I'm working on me and Shayna Ward got a joint coming out on her project. She actually gonna be here in Charlotte. I told her I'm gonna come check her. That's until like December though, so I'm told her I'm gonna check her. Um, Man, that's really about it, man. Keep getting more placements because I like working with artists. You know, that's another thing too, man. People be trying to, you know, discourage you from doing what you like to do. You got, producers. You got some producers that enjoy making beats. You got, and getting placements. You got people that like working with artists. You got people, whatever. Like your career path is gonna be different from everybody else's. So that goes back to what I was saying, what you eat don't make me shit type thing. So um yeah, so I got that going with Truly C, Terminology, Fame, um, Shayna Wall. Um it's another joint that I'm working on. I ain't gonna say it yet.
Yeah,
Um
us producers, we don't like to say nothing till we know till we
right,
know
right.
for sure.
Right now, it's on the way, but I want to surprise people because people I don't think people see this coming to the forefront yet. So I,
Mm,
um
mm.
I'm gonna keep that on top.
Oh no,
That's really
no,
about it.
okay, okay, all right. Well, we gotta, I'm all big on education and motivating. So, what can you tell the young producers out there may be watching, who may, of course, going to listen to it on the podcast, what kind type of motivation, what kind of information you can give them that you think that could be beneficial for an up and coming producer trying to get a placement, trying to work with these artists.
Um, Believe in yourself. Be persistent. Be persistent. Be consistent. Um, go through every emotion that if you truly love this, right? If you truly love this, go through every emotion. You're gonna be pissed off, you're gonna be sad, you're gonna be frustrated, you're gonna be, joyful.
Hello.
Go through the emotion because you may feel like you're not doing enough, you might feel like you might not getting paid enough, whatever the case may be. You might have family tell you, your girl tell you, or if your woman producer, your man tell you, nah, don't do that. People gonna try to strip you away from your dreams. Like, if this is what you choose to do, then do it. Like, how so many people left their 9 to 5 to pursue their passion, their career. Like, listen, at the end of the day, when I pass, y'all gonna say, yo, JR was one of those dudes that held it down and was real. So this is a legacy you're trying to create. So how you want to be remembered? So,
Hello.
and just enjoy the music. That's it. Love what you do.
Jeez, come on, man. Salute alert to my
Right.
guy J.R. Swift in here dropping them gems. Listen, everything he said, I mean, come on, man. That's a one-in formula right there, man, because we all been through those emotions. So when you were saying it, I start flashbacking to myself, like, yep, I felt that way. I felt like I went, like, I feel like I had a chip on my shoulder, wasn't getting the respect that I felt like you should have got, or maybe I didn't get the placement I thought I was gonna get. So hey man, that's some real spill, man. So real quick, man, JR, you got anything else coming up? Anything else you want to promote or let people know? Do you got any plans of doing a label or anything, or having your own situation with working with artists?
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm thinking about. Well, I do. I had a group called Ill Science. It was me and my bro Cordova. Um, I decided to turn that group name into a label. So anything
Mm,
that I put out is going to be through Ill Science. Um, I have somebody that I've been working with closely from Charlotte, kind of in that lane of like a Smino, Bryson Tiller, on those type of
mm,
vibes. Super dope. Shout out to Kyrie. Um, but yeah, I do have my own label. I want to get the ball rolling sooner or later, but I want to make sure J.R. Swift is established enough to really, put out product through Ill Science. But yeah, for sure. Like, I want to start signing producers. I want to start having another producer under me that I feel like that's worthy, that's willing to learn the tricks and the tips that I'm willing to give and make sure that they gonna stay on point. Even with an artist, because that's kind of how I grew up. I grew up with my bro Cordova, with an artist. And I had no placement. It was just him that he was, making our own records. But yeah, for sure. So artists,
yes, sir.
producers, so on and so forth.
All right, man. Y'all heard it from my guy right there. He looking. So you better be in place when it's that go time. So again, brother, you my fam. I appreciate you and your time. I gotta definitely give you the salute alert and thank you for everything you done for the culture because you definitely, I mean, created a sound. You got your own sound. I can't say you sound like nobody, and I love that. I love that about producers when they got their own sound. And man, I mean, I know you over there with the setup. You can play. You got a little song. You can play a little song right now before
Yeah,
we
for
close this
sure.
out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Close us out
yeah,
on a hot banger. All right, hey, this is the Roth Talk podcast where we talk that talk. I'm here with my guy J.R. Swift, and he about to play us a real banger real quick, and then we gonna close out on this banger. Let's go, my guy.
yeah, for sure, man. I'm loading
All
up the
right,
MP. You know what I
all
mean?
right, I'm gonna get a little more plug time. So again, hey, this is the Roth Talk podcast where we talk that talk. This has been another dope episode, another dope interview with another dope guest, my guy J.R. Swift. And you know what I'm saying? We ready to hit some fire now.
Let me see.
Ooh. Jeez. Come on, put them hearts, put them fire signs up there. Put them fire signs up there. Woo. Hey. Woo. Woo. There we go. There we go. Man,
Yeah.
come on, man. Listen, man. Doing dope stuff, my guy. Keep cooking. Listen, we got to collab on something, my guy. We got to collab on something. So you already know how that go, my bro.
For
So,
sure, yeah, for sure.
hey, man, again, brother, thank you for your time. This has been another dope episode of the Roth Talk podcast where we talk that talk and we play fire beats. So with that being said, we about to be about this thing. Make sure y'all hit that follow button for my guy, JR Swift. Make sure y'all hit his DMs. He got them fire beats. You just heard them fire beats. So look, his phone should be ringing right motherfucking now. His phone should be ringing right motherfucking now for some tracks. So again, my
Right.
guy, salute alert to you. Thank you, my
Really
bro.
appreciate it, bro.
Hey, and we out this thing. This has been another Roth Talk podcast, and we out this thing. Peace.
Peace.